Anthony and I are pioneering this program today. This is a mixture of experience, team leader, broker of record, Ignite, and Bold. We're going to touch base on the things that we think are the most important to get your business going again. If you're stuck, if you're not where you need to be, if you think you can do more, we're going to try to bring you back to the fundamentals. And mostly today we're going to talk about business plan. Business plan is there's several models. KW has two. Well, we're going to focus on which are part of the M&REA, and then we're going to talk about we're going to sort of build out from there. Accountability, lead gen. I'm going to show people how to convert leads in your sphere of influence. We'll talk about different forms of CRM. It's really important to have some kind of contact management system. I'm going to show you how to use the tools in Treb, which we get for free, to help you, convert the people you already know. We're going to talk about Collaborate, the new tool that Treb's got. I'm going to show you how to generate leads from Kijiji and Craigslist, the right way to do that. And we're going to mix it up with some other things in there as well. But that's the sort of the heart of the matter. The main KW talks about the big why a lot. In that, if you're stuck and you're not going anywhere, they say it's because you don't have that focus. If you read comic books as a kid, if an alien terrorist kidnapped and killed your mother and father, you would go and develop the superpowers so that you could go fight that, because that was your big why, right? That was your thing that made you want to be what it was that you weren't going to be. And so people have different reasons why we're in this business. And if you can't focus on something to drive you, no one's making your phone ring but you. If when you wake up in the morning and decide to take the day off, who's your boss who's calling you to say, where were you today? So this is the problem and the great thing about this business all at the same time, in that you're accountable to yourself. But what we really feel like, if you're missing the big why that's driving you to fight the alien terrorists every day, you should probably step in with the alternate version of that, which is an accountability partner. An accountability partner is someone that when you see them on the phone, you haven't done what you said that you were going to do. Your stomach kind of drops a little bit, and you're like, oh God. And then you have to answer the phone and say, yeah, I said I was going to call that guy and follow up on that meeting that I didn't. That's an accountability partner. And if you don't have one, you need to get one. And it can be anybody. It can be another real estate agent. It can be someone who is not in the business. It can be a family member. It can be a friend. It it just has to be someone who's going to hold you to what you say you're going to do. And basically, the business that we build is based on our actions, and we're going to help you focus those actions to be the most productive in terms of, because we can spend a lot of time on something that might be a good idea, but it's not going to be as effective as calling someone and saying, hey, we want to go see that house today. And so we're going to talk about that.
And just so you guys are all aware anyway that we're going to do this over the next 4 weeks, so tonight's a week, just to keep it fresh in your mind as well too. But before we jump in to start talking into everything, what are your expectations out of this? What are you looking to get out of it, based on what we've said already? And there's stuff that you guys are looking for as well too, that maybe we'll incorporate as well into this as well too. We're making it for you guys, right? What do you guys need? What are you guys looking for?
I just love listening to everyone, and it gives me this kickstart. Like everyone sharing the experiences and everyone wanting to learn. It gives me this support. I'm not really specifically maybe looking for one. Like I've had so much information, I'm trying to sort everything out, but I just love being in a group.
Excellent. Well, if you think of anything that we're missing,
Maybe Gabriella has some specific.
Well, why I'm here is I do have my goals. I put it down on paper. I have the board all filled out. Yet, I need a quick start. Just to lose my goals. I have accountability partner every day. Yet, those leads are not turning into the appointments. Leads, they're not turning into appointments. So that's what I'm saying.
You need to focus on lead conversion. You get it.
Conversion, making more appointments, and,
Well,
avoid the listings, right? So-
Yeah, appointments are the key, right? Sales is a contact sport. If we're not connecting with people, you aren't going to score any sales.
That's right, you can call and get leads if you don't do anything with your lead.
Well, there's not doing things with your leads, which was my method, preferred version of CRM, which is the scrap paper in the trunk of my car. I just write the names down and then I would send them in the trunk. And that was really.
Weeks later, you-
Yeah, I tried marketing it. Turns out no one was really interested. I thought I could sell that. Yeah, see, people are always willing to try new CRM programs. Trunk of the car method. And so eventually I learned that you need to be consistent with those contacts to turn those leads into sales. But most of the time when you are, you're trying to, you've got to make a first contact with someone. That first contact needs to be nurtured.
Yeah.
And so we talk about Mets and not Mets in KW. Mets are people that you've met. And if you knock on a door one day and you say, hey, did you see that house down the street that's on the market now? Would you ever think about selling your house? Yes, I would maybe. Oh, when would that be? Oh, and maybe in a couple of years. Great. So if you walk away from that door, they're going to be, even if you had a pleasant conversation about the garden, the yard, and kids, whatever, tomorrow they'll still remember you. Next week. And so what we do is we recommend a system of contact management. And then after you first meet somebody, you put them on what's called an 8x8. It's 8 personal touches once a week for 8 weeks. What those touches are can be up to you. Now, I have them built into my Top Producer program, so that when I enter someone's name and information into Top Producer, I then attach the 8x8 program, and then once a week it says, do this dummy, do this, and that, and that person then gets, starts off with a personal note. Thank you so much for talking to me the other day. It was a real pleasure. I look forward to being, your real estate service provider in the future. Next week, I follow up with a neighborhood sale information. Hey, did you see that house on Smith Street sold? Blah 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 blah. If you know anyone who's thinking about selling, let me know. But in the meantime, did you know that I didn't mention this when we were speaking the day before, but KW agents can get you a discount on new appliances at the Brick through their commercial division. If you were ever thinking about lead with contribution, third week, you do something, make a personal call, drop off of something, and after 8 weeks, you then put them into your 33 touch program. A 33 touch program is what KW recommends to maintain a contact with someone, so that when it does time to sell, you are the real estate agent that they're thinking of. And what the 33 touches are, most people put a monthly newsletter. They might mail it 6 times a year or do an email 6 times a year. They'll have a special event they'll invite them to. There's the home show. I send people home show tickets because I get them a discount. And then so I call them and say, hey, do you want home show tickets? And then I follow up after, hey, how was the home show? And then I send them a letter with the home show tickets. It's like 3 touches just on that one thing. So anyway, that's all automated in your contact management system. So it's just like you wake up in the morning, you turn it on, and it says, hey, dummy, do these things. Okay. Those are your Mets. And you want to convert those people into sales, you need to keep contacting them. There are very few people who are hiding behind the front door of their house, waiting for you to knock on it. It's like, oh my God, I need to sell my house next week and I don't know any real estate agents. I really need to sell. Thank you for coming. I'm not like this often. No, it doesn't happen. No, right? A home run is when you're door knocking and someone answers the door. That's a home run. It's like, woo! Got it.
And they can slam the door in your face.
Yeah, well, you don't really get a lot of door slams if you go door knocking, but you get some.
I have to add something to this, because I put this at the very beginning, and now I understand more, and I'm getting hold of it. Real estate, success in real estate depends how quickly you can overcome rejection. And once you understand this, you are absolutely winning. 3 people yelled at me this week, and I'm thinking, you know what?
They don't know me.
Couldn't kill us.
Yeah.
So, at the beginning I would cry, and like, okay,
Yeah.
no, the end of the world, I'm not knocking doors anymore. This time, like,
Hey,
you know
hi.
what I mean.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
Absolutely
but
right.
see, you have to overcome.
Well, like they said, in Bolt, right?
Yeah, I know.
Remember? Yeah, sure. But remember, it said, you know, you get an average commission check, right?
Yes.
Well, how many doors did you knock to get that check? Well, each door was, if it works out to whatever, each door was $50. So every time you knocked on the door and got rejected, you made $50.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how you think of it. So you get into that kind of a mindset, then you're like, okay, I can keep doing this, I can keep doing this.
I went to one door, and elderly lady was extremely nice to me. So a couple of weeks later, I dropped by and I just say hello. And she must have said to her son something that I was there. She was very nice. So the son called yesterday, says, please stop coming to my mom's house. The house is not for sale. I don't want to see you there anymore. I said, listen. And then I remember Diana Kokoska's line. I said, why are you so upset? I'm such a nice lady, and you being upset at me upsets me, so please don't be upset at me. And he like constantly, his name was like, his voice was, no, I'm not upset. I'm just understanding you. And I said, that's okay, thank you very much, I appreciate it. Like some bullshit. He was so nice to me, like, please, we are not selling. That's fine, thank you, blah, blah, blah. But it instantly, he changed his voice.
Yeah. What about the newer agents in the crowd? What do you guys think of this? And that's the
I
end
got
of
my
the looking for.
license today, so.
We hit a home run. We hit a home run right here.
Nice to be here. Good to
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm everything or anything. I'm planning on going door knocking next week as soon as all the papers are done.
Yeah.
There's a fun fair in the neighborhood, so I got a flyer made up, because I need a purpose, I feel, to door knock.
You know, it's easier to knock around a purpose.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I find just when I first started door knocking, I don't do a lot of door knocking. When I first started doing it, I found,
Yeah.
like, I found it awful. If I was just, hi, give me money.
Yeah.
I just found,
Yeah.
I was so awkward. And then I door knocked around my listings. So if I have a listing coming out, I would door knock ahead of it. I'd say, hey, I'm having this property that's coming out, and I would door knock, the neighborhood around that. I'm having an open house, I'd like you to come. I always felt like there was an opportunity there to make that connection, make that door knock somehow more valuable. But after a while, I was like, no, I can door knock now. So I can just door knock. Converting leads, Mariana, is about scripts. Mostly it's about using the words so that you can help focus the leads that you have. When they ask you questions, you're not fumbling for the words.
Is Trish still doing scripting?
She has, but she's moving it around.
Most of the time.
So like, it's once a week.
I think it's going to be once a week now,
Yeah.
but script training is great at the start because we all have this invisible sign flashing over our head at the start of our career saying, I'm new, but the only person who can see it is you. And, well, you apparently Mariana can see it too. But it's one of those things that scripts can help you with. When someone asks you a question, you're in the headlights, you're like, oh, blah, 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 blah. If you just flow into something, it'll help you. And you just practice scripts. It's straightforward, there's plenty, and most of the scripts you'll ever read are hokey as hell. You're the KW's got we have binders of them, and if you said, if I ever said this out loud to another human being, I would explode. But I've seen people read those scripts out loud, just straight off the page. Eventually you make them your own.
Sure.
But it's a great starting point, and the words matter. Like, we're going to talk about this later, but if you begin a listing appointment, and you've got a package, you've done some drop-ins, you've done the 1 stage, you've done the 2 stage, it could be whatever. If you start the listing appointment with, hey, just put me at my ease. But if I do everything right, and I answer all your questions, and I get, and I have everything to your satisfaction, is there any chance you'd sign the listing with me today? I know you're probably interviewing some other agents. Just let me know, so that way I can be less nervous. No, we're probably talking to other agents. All right, no problem. Let's go. You planted the seed. And then at the end of your listing presentation, you say, so, are there any questions that you have? Did I not answer or address any concerns you might have? Are you confident that I know what I'm doing and where the house is going to be and what we need to do to sell? Yeah. Is there any reason why you wouldn't sign the listing? Maybe thinking about it, even if they haven't been thinking about it the whole time. And if you move to close at the end of that, having led with that little script, something like that, you will be successful way more than if you finish and go, okay, just let me know later. Okay, bye.
What you decide.
Yeah, leave. And so the way we use the words and the scripts that we have will matter a lot in the success of the business that we have. Mary?
Just regarding scripts and Trish, I think we don't have to count on Trish being here. Like, we can think,
No,
okay, it's
any-
a bonus when she shows up.
Yeah,
But as long, you have to make sure that there is one person here
Yeah.
that you can do the script,
Yeah.
just and show up. 2 people, that's all
So
you
you
need, right?
yeah.
So don't think, okay, now Trish is not here, I can go home. Or, it's a waste of time.
It's true. Well, that's
Just
where,
make sure you
that's
have
where
to
an
have another
accountability
person.
partner would come in. So
Exactly.
as long as you meet up with
Yeah.
someone here or agree to meet up with someone.
And then just start practicing, that's what I think.
So we're going to move on to the start of the MREA's business plan model. And we're going to focus on these two alone in this course, the economic model and the lead gen model. Now, we're going to send everybody who doesn't have this already a really cool spreadsheet. That, I know, did I really say that out loud? I did. Really cool and spreadsheet all at the same time. But we are. And you plunk in your numbers, and it tells you where you have to be to get those numbers.
What
And
again
I-
is
I-
LREA?
yeah,
It's the Millionaire Real Estate book.
And we have.
Everybody has one, yes, we
Yeah.
have one.
I'm
Did
reading from the process.
you get the sheets?
I got the sheet right here.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, I've got copies, I've got copies.
REA.
I'll get you that. I know you don't have yours yet. I know you don't have yours yet.
Oh my God. Okay, so pass these around.
Okay, I'll go
So I'm
with
reading
that.
fanatical prospecting, this is Sean's.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's four, like Adam was saying, there's 4 models in the MRA book, so we'll focus on the first 2, to get you guys going. And I'll show you how to
Yes,
set up
please.
this
You give one to Sean?
and set up the
Thank you.
Does anyone need a pen?
Yeah.
Sean?
I've got a pen. Thank you, Adamo.
And as the goal with anything is, are you gonna allow yourself to be held accountable? Right? People who took Ignite, you know what that's all about, being held accountable. Old people really know how to be held accountable. You gotta make sure, you're gonna set a goal for yourself, you wanna make sure you do the activities, and you're gonna measure the results. Okay, and if it's not working, you know what to adjust and what not to adjust. And we're here to help. Okay, I'm always around. We can always look at the plans and adjust the plans as we go along. Okay? And it's also focusing on the 4 conversations, right? And specifically in this, what we're gonna do over the next couple of weeks is just focus on the appointments and getting your listings. Right? Once you've got that, then that's the bulk of everything. It's easy enough to build a value proposition for yourselves, show a value proposition, and then stuff will just flow all along with it.
So we're gonna do, you want to do the sample, what do you want to do?
Let's go down, you want to walk through the spreadsheet?
Sure.
Can we do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, Anthony's already filled one out. I pulled one out.
Oh, here, you're there. There. Excellent.
Okay, so the economic and lead gen model here.
Well, can I jump in for 1 second?
Yes,
I'll email everybody a copy of that spreadsheet after today, okay? So everybody get a copy.
but you've got the blank paper here.
Yeah.
And
Do it manually.
yeah, you're gonna do it manually, but we're gonna take some sample numbers. What is a sample number that somebody wants to make in the 2017?
200,000.
All right.
No, 100.
100,000.
17, let's make it 100.
Okay, $100,000 net. That's net,
Yes.
okay?
I just moved that field up.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
I saw it. I really shouldn't have done that.
So this is script here.
We'll find out in a second. I didn't even know that it could be moved. I'll do that again. Cost of sales. Now, different places have different costs, and America has a pretty high cost for this spreadsheet.
What does that mean, cost of sale?
Well, everyone, so your admin costs for operating your business. So if you're doing a listing, if you're paying for pictures, whatever, your license fees, your brokerage fees, so I'm just going to put in 10% for those amounts, so that's most, I don't know, I had a lot of expenses, and then I inevitably write off $25,000 worth of crap a year as a minimum kind of number. Some agents write off nothing. Some agents are geniuses and don't spend any money on listings or buyers or anything, but that's sort of where I'm at. Now, gross revenue from, we're just gonna play this as 50/50.
Okay, so what, how did you get this 125 now?
Okay, so that's net
Oh,
income.
100.
Yeah, here we go. Gross revenue, conversion rates is down here. Gross revenue.
Where's the cost?
Oh, thank you. I had this one. I just want to mess this up. Maybe I need to put up Anthony's because I totally screwed
So
it up.
how is 10% out of 112?
Well, take 10% of the GCI, right?
Yeah,
So your net income's gonna be 100 grand. That's what you're gonna net. So you're gonna gross, you're saying you're gonna gross 125. Take off your expenses, you're gonna net 100 grand. Right, it's working it backwards.
Yeah.
So,
so I have to pull up Anthony's here because I messed up my spreadsheet.
Yeah, so basically, okay,
So
well,
Anthony's got a similar number here. So
yeah,
his,
price gross 150.
right, so he's grossing 150 to net 112. And he's put his cost at 25%, I had mine at 20%. Now, gross revenue from buyers and sellers, so he's got a 50/50 split between. That generates commission. So if you've got your average commission on the sale and the average commission on the buy side, you put that number in. I don't know a lot of people who are getting 2.5% on the listing side at the moment. We're getting squeezed on that.
That comes in, we show your value proposition.
Back to
yeah,
2.5,
I'm not
yeah.
buying.
And then
We're doing it.
your average sales price. So your average sales price is $600,000. That's what you're gonna need to make. So that's 5 listings and 5 buyers at 600 grand. This is conversion rate of 90%, that's really fine.
That's the appointments.
Listings taken? No, that's like 90.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so lister buyer appointments.
That's 30%.
Okay,
That's a
that's
conservative figure.
Okay. And you're working 48 weeks a year. So what this is saying is to get your 6 appointments, probably to get your 6 listings, if you convert 30%, if you 30% of the time you go to see someone about selling a property and they use you, that means you're going to need to see 19 people about selling a house in a year in order to make 6 sales. And we left that. The buyers are always easier to pick up at the moment. If the market turns, everything will change. But at the moment, it's pretty easy to pick up a buyer because they're desperate and it's awful out there. And so then the number of weeks you work is 48. How many appointments per week? 0.4, 0.1. That's all it's going to take to make $112,500 net.
So you need an appointment every 2 weeks, based on this example.
Yeah.
That's the economic model. Now, what you don't know as new agents is what your conversion rate is. I can tell you from the MREA statistics in Keller Williams University, in the National Association of Real Estate, they interview people who finish a sale. They say, how many realtors did you interview? And 60% of sellers say, and a further 26% say. And so, if you're the first through the door, you've got a pretty good chance of landing that listing. And even if you're second through the door, it's not something. I was, this last month, I was one of 6 realtors being interviewed. I did not.
I don't want to.
I really don't think so. They were not being very honest with anybody. But this is the straightforward model. Now, down here, we're going to skip the lead gen. The lead gen model, and the same idea. You need 10 transactions to close. You want to know how many from your database currently you're going to rely on. And Keller Williams, after long, hard stat crunching, if you were communicating with the people who know you, who if they see your number on the phone, will pick it up. If you're communicating with them effectively, the ratio is 12 to 2 or 6 to 1 or something. And so out of a database of 50 people, you're going to get 4 sales from them. not maybe from them directly, but like when you call them and say, hey, how you doing, how's the house? Great. Hey, I heard Johnson's is happening. That's what that means when you're contacting your METs. Your haven't METs. That's the have not met database. This is a much tougher conversion. This is the conversion when you are farming. You're putting up advertisements. You're sending out. This is based on 12 newsletters a year. So if you send out one newsletter a month to a farm area over the course of a year, they say 51 is your conversion to a sale. I think that is actually pretty high. I think it's worse than that.
That's why they're 75, Jack is 75.
Okay, so they're going to update the MRE book this fall, I think.
This fall is coming out,
Yeah, so they're probably going to adjust these numbers. In a heavy seller marketplace that we've been in for so many years, people become inured. How many flyers do you get in your mailbox every bloody day? You're just like,
Who you
Yeah.
gonna pick, right?
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, and, it's crazy.
And I hate when new agents start sending flyers.
Does anyone advertise here, like?
But don't go through their mailboxes like that person on the news.
Like sending flyers to the farm area, like?
So,
Here at California.
yeah, there's people who do it, absolutely.
you know?
Yeah, I did it for 6 months once to my neighborhood. 6 months.
What did you do?
I sent flyers to my neighborhood for 6 months. Adam's Neighborhood News. I had a fun little thing, and I had a little real estate thing, and a fun thing about the neighborhood, and I got 3 lease leads in 6 months.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you probably
Once a month.
follow up with, you just don't send flyers, you
No.
probably call them, knock on doors.
Yeah, well, no. I don't know what I do.
6 months?
Yeah, this was a long time ago. I did 6 months of this crazy farm business, and I was not consistently following up with the people I was getting those leads from. And so I, sporadically called them, having made initial contact, and, it just sort of fizzled because I wasn't systematically connecting with those people. And the cost was, tremendous. It was even at 12 cents, a letter to mail them. It was another, 20 cents to print them, and then, and then my time of follow-up was not very consistent. So the have-not mets. So if you sort of convert between your mets and your have-not mets, you're going to get a number that's required. So if you're working a database, in this instance, a database of 40 people, and you are going to work a farm area of 750 people, that's going to convert to your sales that you need under the same principle. Does anyone have any questions?
So is that the number that should be sitting in your database at all times, sort of thing?
Well, your database is how many people you know. Now, every
Your
day,
Met database. Your Met database.
your Met database are the people you know. And however many that is however many that is. People have some massive databases. There's guys in his office with a database of, something like 10,000 names on it. Does he say anything to them? No. If he calls them and they recognize his number and pick up, no. So in general, I think that at the start of your career, farming via this particular method is the most expensive, least effective way of growing your database.
Farming by flyering.
Farming by flyering. If the market turns and there's fewer of us out there competing for the business, I think it'll change. But right now, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like people in Bloor West Village get something like 8 flyers a day. And people knock on the doors 2 or 3 times a day. And so people are just becoming, they've had enough. So we've got to find a way around that. But the best way, without question, if you look at the ratio, 750 farming database versus 40 in your actual database, those are the easy sales. Those are the sales you don't have to spend, $1,000 a month on postage and printing and stamps and blah, 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 to get them together. Now, we always need to be feeding the funnel. It's not.
Sorry, I mean, just
What?
explain.
I lost her.
You've got
Okay.
40 in the actual database,
Yeah.
and then the 7 is what, the conversions?
7 is the conversions from your,
Have not.
hang on, lead gen, what was that?
Oh, Seven down there.
Basically, there's three options when you look at your METs and half-METs, right? And if you see through the MRA book. So basically, it's saying, in order to gross 150, you need 10 transactions. So if you're only going to go through the MET option, right? People that you know, it's saying, based on their formulas and all their stats and all their history, is you need to have 60 MET people in the database to get 10 deals, 10 transactions. So 6 to 1, like Adam was saying before. The other way is just go through your habit METs. And based on their stats and the conversions there, you need 750 contacts in your database to get that. The third thing, which is a combination of both, is to have METs and to have METs and habit METs. And basically it's saying it's 24 METs and 450 habit METs that would get you that 10 transactions. And that's all pre-calculated based on the MRA stats and stuff like that.
So flyering is something I feel that helps people who've already got some foothold in the neighborhood. Now, the other stats are confirmed, is that if all you do is send out 1,000 flyers once a month, the odds of someone calling you is about 1%. If you door knock the same area, even if you aren't connecting the people on the doors, but you leave something behind, like a little door hanger saying, sorry, I missed you. Here's a fun, lawn care bag. And your odds increase. Those 1,000 flyers are now twice as effective as they were before. So wow, if you call the same neighborhood that you door knock and flyer, there's like an effect that builds one upon the other. And so if you're going to focus, and everyone needs to add leads to their database all the time, because people drop off, people move, people's brothers get their license. Like there's always attrition. You can't rely on any static group of people to produce a constant amount of money every year. So you have to focus on adding people to your database all the time. And so a small farm, there's places to look, like we talked about farming, that will help you generate those new names. But you should door knock, you should cold call, and you should flyer all in the same location. Preferably in an area where one agent isn't totally kicking ass, and there's a relatively good turnover rate. And those numbers can be calculated on Tread. You can just go on Tread and just have a look through the last in a year's sales. If there was an agent that had more than 4% penetration, it's rare. But there's a few places where there's individual agents that knock it out of the park. Like in this office at Scarlet Road, we had Ben Greenhill last year. He did 24 of 60 transactions he took place in those 4 hours. No one has penetration like that. That's crazy. And he does that entirely with flyers and his grandmother, who stalks the halls and says, "You should use my grandson, he's the best!" So hire a grandmother, because that's really good. Get her to walk around. And any more on this?
Yeah, no, like I said, I'll email it to everybody. Again, we're just going to focus on the first 2 tabs, all right? Call me, walk in, if you need help with it. I'm more than happy to sit down. And then once you guys get the hang of that, I can walk you through everything else, how to start building up your budget and stuff like that. That's the easy part.
So the part that we don't know, the part that you don't know, is when we say appointments. Okay, great. And so you get an appointment. An appointment is with someone who says, yes, I'm interested in selling my house, please come see me. That is an appointment. A contact is chatting with someone pleasantly in the elevator about real estate, and then you ask his name and see if you can come. That's a contact. An appointment is the key. That's what we're aiming for. You have to measure how long it takes to get the appointment, how many contacts you have to make. And once you have that information, then you know how much time to apply to that endeavor. Like if it takes you 2 hours to get 6 contacts, and of those 6 contacts, how many will eventually convert to appointments? Okay, great. So that's how long it takes. It takes me 2 hours to get 6 contacts to make 1 appointment. So it's 2 hours per appointment for me. Well, that's pretty easy. But in general, you have to be tracking how long it takes in your individual endeavors to produce the results you need. So if you're doing cold calling, where you're calling your own database, people you know, how long it takes to actually connect with someone and talk about real estate is the key thing. And you need to track that so that you can apply that information, so that you know where your business is going. Did I miss a step? I didn't miss a step. Any questions about lead gen? About the Mets and the haven't Mets? How many people do you think you have? Who has a database here?
So what do
I really need to,
Okay.
Oh, wait, come on. We all have databases. We all know people.
What?
of course.
How many people have a database that they're communicating with effectively about real estate?
I started this year.
Excellent, excellent, super. I did too. And the results have been stellar. Now, at the beginning of your career, everybody has a zillion directions they can go. In the middle of your career, everyone has a zillion directions you can go. When you're getting hammered 10 years into your career as a realtor, and you're just like, what's going on? It's all generally the same. The same problem is we have not created a system of communications. We have not followed up with CRM, customer relationship management, and we are not feeding our database and doing lead generation. And partly it's because most of us hold it up as this thing. It's really hard. It doesn't have to be. If you hate door knocking, don't door knock. I know people who are very successful in real estate and never door knock in their life. Cold calling, I hate cold calling. Don't do it. Don't cold call. Do something else. Find something that appeals to you, that allows you to connect with people. There's an agent in the office who simply talks loudly in her cell phone in coffee shops about real estate. That's what she does. There. Oh yeah, I just saw that place on Smith Street. It's so nice. No, it really is. I can't believe it. No, I think we could get it for only $685. Yeah, no, we should go. Okay. No, not enough.
Adam, are these real calls?
Those
or
are-
you think you calls?
No, I think they're real calls. They're real calls.
Well, but it's easy to do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Until it rings on your ear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't.
That's the other line that's ringing.
I have, that's right. I have one fantastic friend of mine who's a medic in the Canadian military, and he has these great lines, and one of my favorites is, once you can fake sincerity, you've got it made. That's what I forget. So it's better to be in the coffee shop actually working on your real estate plan, but that's what this agent does. She just hangs out in crowded coffee shops, talks about real estate.
And people just approach her.
Well, yeah, I think mostly guys. She's, but also a really good realtor.
Still.
Yeah.
Works.
Yeah. Cute guys. Yeah, cute guys, and some leads in real estate. But you have to find something, whatever that something is. Find the thing that costs you the least amount of energy, the thing that you enjoy, and then you need to press that into a lead gen activity.
Have a plan, right? And really, that's what I lack, really. To have a plan and stick with it.
Well, the plan is good. So once you have a customer relationship management program, once you have some form of database working for you, and you have the names of the people you know in that database and their addresses, the hardest thing is to convert those people from thinking of you. Originally, you're thinking it's really hard, and it is. It can be, because most of us are guilty of being what? Secret agents.
Yes.
I don't want to tell my friend or my neighbor because they know that last week I was, the chef. Yeah. And so you don't tell those people that you are in real estate, which is a huge mistake. And so I'm going to show you how to use Trev to convert people to think of you as realtors rather than whatever dumbass thing it was you were doing before you went to real estate. And mostly that's about calling them about homes that are for sale or homes that have sold, hopefully near where they live. And so your job is to convert the people you know, because they already know you and trust you, and that's 90% of what anyone's looking for in a real estate agent. Someone they know and someone they trust. Really? That's really what most people are looking for. And you can fill in all the other bits. Your You're new, you don't know it all, you don't need to know it all. No one knows it all. You're one phone call away from someone who has the answer. That's all you have to be ready for. And your job is to communicate with those people in your database about real estate so they start thinking of you as a realtor. And it's not hard to do. And but that's the random part. And so every day, my entire lead gen plan for years, because I don't like cold calling and I don't like door knocking, which has been successful, ridiculously successful in my career, is that I do a search, set up a search in the Toronto Real Estate Board's free software that we pay for every year, and I draw a little circle around my client's house. And then when property comes on the market near their house, it sends me an email. Not them, it sends me the email. It's like, hey, look at that, there's a house. Oh, that's right, you're Corey Callie's place. Hey, Corey, how you doing? Yeah, how's the house? Good, good, how's the family? Oh, that's fantastic. Hey, did you see that house at 123 Smith Street? Yes, yes, I know, it just came on the market just now. Yeah, I know, it's asking $8.99, you know anyone's looking? Trying to pick your new neighbor? No? Well, if you'd like to see it, let me know, I'd be happy to take you through. All right, thanks, take care, bye.
This
Oh,
is
that's
great.
smart.
This is really good.
So what are you doing? You are taking someone who knows you, who sees you when you call, and now, instead of thinking of you as, Adam Charlesworth chef, Adam Charlesworth, gigolo, Adam Charlesworth genius interior designer.
Adam Charlesworth thinks I like this song.
Yes. They're now saying, hey, that Adam guy, he told me about a house. I guess he really is in real estate. Now, they may not think it the first time. They may not even think of it the second time. But the third or fourth time that you call them and say, hey, and what works even better than just saying, hey, you see that house that came on the market? It's like, you go like this, Corey, how you doing? Good. Guess what? I saw that house on Withrow came on. Yeah, I know, can you believe it? 1.1. It's crazy. I took a guy through it earlier. It's kind of funny. Do you know anyone's looking? Yeah, no. Okay, well, if you'd like, I'd be happy to show it to you. Just, keep in the loop. Then all of a sudden now, not only are you a realtor who's showing people homes. I just went and saw it. Crazy. Yeah, I have someone who's looking.
So how do you find those?
So how do you find them? You have to know the address of where your people live.
Okay.
You have to draw a little circle around them on the map on the Toronto Real Estate Board. And then, yeah, I'll show you. We're gonna cover this off in the next session.
That's really good.
And then it allows you to convert the people who think of you as, I don't even know what you did before you were a realtor, Danuta, to now think of you as Danuta real estate agent, rather than Danuta firefighter.
Or even past clients, right?
Past clients.
Past clients?
It's the easiest phone call you could ever make to a past client, is to keep them in the loop. Now, you should still be calling them anyway, because they're past clients. I know it's embarrassing, because 5 years has passed, and they're just like, hey, that's me, you remember me? And the savage part is the National Association of Realtors has these great stats. The fact that something like 80% of people who were asked about the realtor they used to buy their home 5 years ago say, would you use them again? Yeah, they were okay, they were fine. What was their name?
Frank Montana.
I don't remember.
They don't remember.
They really
They don't remember. It's shocking, but they don't remember. And it's because we haven't done what? We haven't told them. We haven't communicated with them. We haven't kept them in the loop. And if they haven't bought and sold, for God's sake, call them, because it's not hard to reignite that relationship. And if, they're just as happy to work with you again. So it's like, right, keep it up. What else are we going to talk about tonight?
That was it for the first year.
All right.
Basically to get you guys thinking about your database and who do I have in it, and how do I start filling it and stuff like that.
So any kind of contact relationship management, customer relationship management software is good if you are using none. They all have quirks. No one program is perfect. I have used 6 different CRMs. Well, I used to work as an admin, so I had to help by the people I work with. And they was like, we're going to use this program this week. Okay, convert. We changed our mind. We're going to move to this program now. Fine, convert. This program sucks. We're going to use this program now. Fine. So I've used quite a few customer relationship management programs. They all suck. But the best one is the one that you use. So they break down basically the same, they all have more or less the same features. They seem to differ in two main points, and it's up to you whether that works out for you or not. They either track people individually, or as couples, or as family groups, and some of them don't do both, some of them do it oddly. And how you organize your clients has to sort of jive with that. Probably the most powerful CRM is Top Producer. And if you are going to start in real estate and expand in real estate, Top Producer is a program that you can grow into. You can add on more modules. You can add team members. You can add administrators. It's a very powerful program. And it does all the important things. And I'm going to show you some Top Producer things later tomorrow, where once you add someone, add their name, and then you just add the plan to them. And then the next day, if there was an activity associated with that plan, it shows up in your little to-do. There's my to-do today, there's my to-do. I gotta do that today. So there's work in advance to set up the plans, how you like them. Almost all programs are like that. I would say they all are, because the ones that come prefab, you're gonna go, really? That's not me. Keller Williams has a free one. Almost every brokerage you work with will have some cheap-ass free version of a CRM program of some kind. When I was with Royal LePage, they recommended they partnered with Real Web Solutions. And Real Web Solutions was fine. Good program. That came with a free website. So then there's, I would say, the top 10 Contactfully, Top Producer, Agent Locator, by referral only.
How about Exact? Have you used Exact?
I know I haven't, but there are agents in the office who use Exact.
There's few of agents
Yeah.
that are using here.
Mostly, it's if you use it. That's the key thing.
Yeah.
You have to, whatever the system is,
And you
none of them are
learn and
perfect.
set up, really.
Well,
Take time to set up.
they all take time to set up. And you'll set them up and find that it's like, oh, it's not quite what I want, it's close. Tough. Suck it up, because the grass is not greener over the next hill. They all kind of work, they all kind of suck to some degree. They're not going to be perfect. But the most important thing is that the names are in, plans are attached, the to-do list shows up. You call, you email, you send letters, you do the things that you're supposed to do on a regular basis to communicate to your clients so that they're thinking of you as a real estate agent, a real estate professional.
Would you, do you think that almost in every program you can set up 8x8?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah, I think, absolutely. E-Edge, Top Producer, I'm not sure about Agent Locator. Referral Maker almost certainly has, they have all kinds of different,
Exact.
exact,
That's exact for recruiting.
yeah.
Recruiting, yeah, is that good?
So they all
Can
do.
you maybe show me?
I think the cheapest one I used, which had the most functionality, was Realty Juggler. Even Realty Juggler had a system for adding plans. It's like $100 a year. Most of them were $40 to $50 a month. E-Edge is included with KW. I tried using E-Edge. It drove me crazy.
I tried to. Oh my God.
Yeah, it drove me. It was hot stuff 7 years ago. It's due for a refresh. It's supposed to be out this year. We'll see
Yeah,
how.
is there a new one?
Yeah, we'll see how. We'll see how it goes. Because really, like anything, it was first out,
American, right?
and it'll still be American. Even though they're an international company in 33 different countries, we'll see. Because they started in Austin, Texas, and so KW's like, go, finally, it's right in there. It's like branded. The rest of the world doesn't quite see eye to eye with that, and I think they're going to adjust. We'll see. So CRM programs are important. I'm going to run through Top Producer in some more details just to show you what we're supposed to do. Then I'm going to show you.
It's good if you share, even if it's your own program, so to see what's,
Straightforward stuff. So all the programs have different levels, attached to them. Almost every program will have some way to track a closing, so that if you do a deal, you can have a plan associated with that. Like, don't forget to call the lawyer. Don't forget to send in your papers. Don't forget to whatever. You can so they'll almost all be associated with properties, addresses. Some of them do automatic emails, some of them don't. You'll find your way. It's hard to spend. You can spend a lot of money in real estate at the start and not make any. Tomorrow you get your license. You meet somebody and they say, yeah, I want to use you, Robin, to buy a condo. And you go and you buy a condo 2 days from now, and it closes in 90 days. Your paycheck is in about 110 days from now. And that's red hot maximum speed. And so between now and then, your money is going out the door and no one's coming back.
I
Yeah.
have a quick question. 8 by 8, I understand very
Yeah,
well.
okay.
So first is 8 by 8 and then 33
33 touch,
touch. That means
that's,
once a month.
well,
The same people,
it can be. So the same people that you start with the 8 by 8.
I understand.
After
And
the 8 by 8
33
is finished, you move them into the 33 touch.
Why is it
We
33?
call the 33 touch program is because 15 years ago, they crunched a whole bunch of numbers and they said, this is the maximum number of times to communicate with someone to generate the most likely response to keep them in your database so that they, when you call them in 2 years' time to say, hey, you ready to sell? They go, yeah, absolutely. Thanks,
They
Peter.
know.
But 33
Because they
works
know.
out to be how much?
It's like almost 3
Once a
times a
month.
month. So we call it the 33 touch program. I think 33 touches is a lot. And if you do it wrong, like I remember when I started, I sent out emails to everybody, and then my very big database of 120 became a very big database of about 85. And it was so hard to get them in the database, it was just like, unsubscribe! No! Stop! Stop! Don't say that! Come back! And it was so disheartening, because you're like, you work to put them in the database, and then you send them some emails, and then you send them some more, and then you send them some more. What do you feel about emails? Anybody love email? Nobody loves email. And if you see an unsubscribe button, it's like a little moment of joy for me every day. I'm gonna unsubscribe. I'm gonna unsubscribe. I never have to see from you again. And so you have to be cautious. You have to be cautious in your 33 touch program what it is. So like, my home show is 3 touches. Right, and so that's I call them and see if they want the tickets. I send them an email with the tickets. I follow up after. And no one's unhappy about that. No one ever says unsubscribe, free home show tickets. That's, great.
Another thing could be probably home and garden too, maybe they're.
There's shows in the fall, there's shows in the spring, there's Canada Blooms, there's real estate reasons, and so when you get a flyer in the mail, it's obviously a paid flyer. I love it when you've got a guy in the same neighborhood using the same guy. You will get phone calls as realtors from every marketing company in the world. Hobson, Herder, or whatever, and they'll say, yeah, we're gonna send flyers out for you, not to worry. We'll manage your database, just give us their names.
Yeah.
Or you're farming this neighborhood, no problem. We'll send those flyers for you. And so you'll get the flyer with on one side, it's you, there's some information about the neighborhood, a recent sale or something, a picture of you, blah, 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 market stats, and then the other side, aromatherapy. Oh, look at that aromatherapy, that's so handy. It's like, I'm gonna put that on my fridge because I want to know about aromatherapy. Ooh, this month's is about diamonds. Oh, I love diamonds, that's so great. Fascinating, I didn't know Adam knew anything about diamonds, that's so cool. And then you get but then if you go through your mailbox, you'll see Jill, Robin, Buffet, they're all using the same company, and you're just like, wow, great. So, I feel that, especially at the start, don't hemorrhage money and don't throw that shit out of the door. The number one, the easiest, quickest, cheapest way to make sales in this business is to call people you know.
And I wouldn't agree with that,
Well,
because
you've done door knocking,
yes,
and you've been successful.
yes.
I've been successful with door knocking.
See, I don't call people I know. I don't know why, but I just don't. I don't know, saying tough, but I rather work with people than I meet.
Well, you can find your way to do that. I can tell you that the magic of the internet is the thing that most people feel like, I'll just put an ad and then people will call me. And so I won't have to do any of that work stuff. I won't have to convert the people I know. I won't have to do any of that calling. I'll just put an ad on the internet and then people will call me. So there's agents in the office who operate incredibly good real estate websites. Real estate websites that generate leads cost about $100,000 to $150,000 a year to generate a stream of leads. There are realtors in this office who spend that much every year on real estate generated, real estate websites that generate leads. These are content-heavy websites. These are websites with a constant flow of information, with new things being posted all the time, with videos, with neighborhood news, with stats and all that other crap. And so when you type in, Ron C. real estate agent, those agents appear. They appear at the top. That's not cheap. And those leads also, anyone who's ever done the internet leads will tell you they suck. Because they're very ephemeral, right? They're clicking around. Oh, okay, let's call that guy. Give us the information for free now, please. Okay, we're done.
I just want to mention, like, for the new person, open houses, I think it's a really good thing. Like, years back, my first year was an open house, maybe very first open house that I had for somebody else. It was not my mistake. I got the buy and the sale, same people. So, it happens, you just have to do it, right?
I'm
It does
happy with
work.
them.
And the right, well, see, in the spring, I did an open house on 17th Street for Microspirit. That wasn't my listing. He had 2 listings out that weekend. It was the first listing, first weekend was open house. There's 400 people there. 400 people, it's impossible to really connect with. Now, I might get 10. And, when you do an open house, you want to connect with 1 or 2 people. That's all you need.
That's right.
You don't try to get everybody. You're not going to connect with everybody. You find people at the open houses and you connect with them. And if you can pick up 1 person at an open house, that's a victory. Pick up 2, right home to your mom. That was a huge thing. We're going to go through different forms of lead gen. We're going to talk about all those things tomorrow. And if you have anything you want to bring in tomorrow from 6 to 7, we're going to go over that in more detail. And we can incorporate those parts on the following weeks.
Tomorrow's the weekend.
Tomorrow's lead gen. Eat pizza.
Are you,
Eat pizza, that's stuff.
are you taking, like, filming the?
We are
We're gonna
filming.
put up on the
That's
website.
next week, then, okay.
All right, yeah, because you're going to be trekking up the Grand
Down
Canyon.
first, and then.
Yeah, down is easy. Okay, the up part. So I can tell you, it's a fun story, Mariana. My father was a geologist, and he studied as a structural geologist. And his hobby was climbing up mountains in the Rockies, because that was where he practiced his geology mostly. And so, as a kid, I climbed up an awful lot of mountains. This is not ropes and this is just gravel.
It's amazing.
We'd get to the top of the mountain. My dad would pull out a flask, and then we'd drink whiskey, and then go back down. I was 6, didn't matter. And I'll never. So I have a lifelong fear of heights, which is I think stemmed from these moments, because when you're climbing up a mountain, you're just you're kind of facing the rock. We weren't doing difficult descents really. They were maybe 5,000-6,000 feet. These were the Rockies. It's not complicated enough to climb. We weren't doing anything overly difficult. But we'd get to the top, and at the top, everything is down from there. Everything is down from there. And then my dad would say, "Okay, take a picture. Take a picture." And I'd be touring on top of this mountain, and I never wanted to do it again. So the idea of climbing down the Grand Canyon appeals to me a great deal. I love it. Yeah, because it seems so straightforward. And there's never going to be a moment, except for at the top, when you're at the precipice looking down. Like, I can't do that. Like, when I show condos, I can't go past the 9th floor. I can't go up the balcony. If we're on, like, if it's past 20 floors, I can't even go near the window. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Well, I'll share, see how it is, and maybe we'll go.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
as a team.
All right, thank you everybody for coming. I hope it wasn't
Thank you.
too dull, and we're gonna track through tomorrow, and it's gonna be great.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for doing this, by the way.